This is David Stevens, FinWell Builder. Today is Monday, June 20th, 2022, and this is stock prep for Tuesday's launch day of the stock market after a little holiday weekend here for the United States. So the question is, do the futures have what it needs to rally in the stock market this week, or are we going to have an additional pullback? Going into the weekend, I wasn't quite sure, but right now, at least looking at the futures are showing signs that it's ready to rally. Bitcoin had a nice little quick drop, but it's trying to fight its way back as well. So we'll watch the early morning to see what happens, but it's possible to have a relief rally. But let's talk about the charts and see what it's showing, see what we can do as we prep for this the rest of this week, which is going to be a shorter week for us. So let's get right into it and take a look at how we close out the week. So last week, you can see here Dow Jones on Friday closed down basically 0.13% down. NASDAQ was up 1.43%, S&P 500 up 0.22%. So a little bit, overall kind of flat overall. I mean, NASDAQ did have a little bit of a gain, but overall flat, especially towards the end of the market. But you can see kind of chop. So hopefully you were safe if you were trading during the day. You see our heat map energy money continues to pull out of there back into our other sectors or back onto the sidelines. You can see here our FANG stocks picked up and had a nice run. Amazon had a nice little pickup as well. So overall, market's kind of, choppy. So just be careful out there if you are trading during the day. And if you're in long positions, then don't just consider, we're not quite sure if we're close to the bottom or not, but, we are down. We hit that 20% mark, which is, showing us that we're in a bear territory. And so that means there could be downside. Also could mean that we could be close to a potential turnaround, even if it's temporary, which are called relief rallies, which, could be a few days. But we need to see the price action first to show us that it wants to do that first. But and also you look at the scanner here, and nothing hit the scanner that was new that I traded on Friday. Still under 100%. I usually look at those 100% pops and higher volume. But we did have one that we, had multi-day trades, and this is AERC. This has been a multi-day trade, but it's kind of fading off here. We saw, it continued to climb up and hit our trend line, but then kind of faded off a little bit here. But you can see even on Friday, the low was 1590, high of 2895. So it's still a $5 move here. So that's still substantial on this size stock. So hopefully you're able to grab some of that. You see after that, we got that little pump, then it just kind of faded away the rest of the day and flat. And you see our lower trend line here. You can see $12 here, $15.90 here. We're right close to that. We're just kind of riding here right now. So the question is can we get a bounce, off of this level here around 1780, run back up to at least 2095, if not break back out towards the highs? That's the question. So, I do like that we're above this resistance line here. We're on a support line now. So let's see if we can give a run this week. So we'll keep it on the radar for now and see what it can do. Going again, for those that maybe haven't been watching on a weekly chart, you can see here we're sitting here around 1832. The high back in 2021 was 115. I don't expect that we're going to climb all the way back up there and get there. We very well could just pull right back. But definitely watching this. We have 2 weeks out of a run on this, and we are kind of chasing up this candle, but we're very, very much at the bottom. So does it have enough to run? Not sure, but we'll be watching it this week and see how we open up. News, expect a really volatile week. I mean, we could have upswings and downswings this week, just looking at the calendar. Here's what's coming up. So on Tuesday, we have existing home sales, which obviously, can create emotion in the market. And then Wednesday, we have Jerome Powell speaking on monetary policy and the Senate Banking Committee, which is a pretty big deal. So that could create volatility and a reaction in the market. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, and we have PMI. And then we have Jerome speaking to us again about monetary policy. So this is, very challenging week. So just be really careful if you're trading out there. And then Friday, I don't know that I see as many big things. Oh, 5-year inflation, that would be big as well. 5-year inflation expectations, and that's at 10 a.m. Eastern time. All, big week. So we have a shortened week this week in trading on the US side, at least, but boy, every day there's some type of news. So be real careful. We could possibly get a rally, explosive rally out of this, but also we could fall through the floor again. So just be real careful out there. Looking at this is the SPY, and this is the max pain. So this is, if the money marker, if the money makers want to, the stock market wants to take as much money from investors as possible through stock options, this is how they do it. And for this last week, those who shorted the market were rewarded very well. So the market makers did not get their money as much this week and gave a lot back, but this following week is a new week. And right now you see stock prices around 366. The futures is not, E-mini futures is not, it's actually higher. It almost got a 372 area. So, but max pain 384. So if the market wants to make it painful for all these put options, people are shorting the market. You can see obviously more people are shorting the market than going long because we are in a bear market. And you got this this put wall right here at 345, which is a long way down from where we're at. But yeah, if the market rallies this week, it could short out. It could basically take all the money from these guys. So just look for that. So be real careful if you're trading options, or even if you're trading this market. Volatility can spike up, and that can make the options more expensive. And the market's expecting a lot more downturn, and that's possible. It's also possible for us to shut out all these people that are short in the market. So just be careful out there if you're holding options. So here's E-mini. This is what I want to show you, so that you're really prepped for possibilities on Monday. The E-minis can always turn around and come way back down in a day, which BABA did. I should show you a chart for BABA. Maybe I'll show you that, but I'll show you what kind of things can happen as the market makers are out there trying to figure out how to take your money if you're not prepared and you can't react. So here's the E-mini S&P 500. You can see here, this is on a 1 hour chart. This is looking at today. See, we're sitting here at, we hit a high of 37.26. Let's see, 37.24.50. I was watching it this weekend and watching it. It's actually on it today. But you can see here we're above our support, our trend line here of resistance, and we're above it now. If we can hold this, I think we got a rally tomorrow, at least for a day. And you see our upper deviation bands up here, starting at around 37.40, and then this upper one here at 37.66. So that's a possibility. If not, this could roll over and obviously come back down. But at least for this weekend, it's showing that to have desire to go up. And so, as if this is a double bottom right here, 1, 2. This could obviously easily rally up here, at least to the top of our secondary deviation band, if not higher, at least double, which would put it, around 37.90 would be a peak possibility. So keep that in mind. Looking at Google, flat, trying to build some support here to rally up here. It's got to break 21.74 if it wants to rally this week. So look for that break, and if it is, then it's definitely a long opportunity, not for possibly for very long, but at least he give you a day trade or a few days trade possibly. Looking at Amazon, again, just sitting here flat, building up energy, kind of in this little zone here. So really we need to break up above, 115.50 really to kind of run here. We got some gaps above to fill as well. If we break below the support line here at 102.69, we could have some downside and go back to those new lows. Apple, sitting here in this tight trend line here, you see a lot more action up here above this resistance line. So if we can break 132.61, we could rally. So that's what we're looking for, is a rally opportunity here possibly. For NVIDIA, looking for support to hold here at 155.64. We can hold that and break open above that, then look for a run up, possibly to fill some of these gaps. Got this long candle. If we can get in this long candle, it's possibly run up to the 20-day moving average. here at 173.25, or even up to our resistance line at 181.61, which that would be a big push to get above that, all that candle here. But that's what I'm looking for, possibly as a play here this week. On Meta, consolidation down here. And so looking, if we break 159.68, look for more downside. But if not, looking to rally up at least towards that 175 area. Tesla, if we break this 620 area, we could possibly come down into, close to in the 500s. Otherwise, we need to stay in this range and hopefully break out above 700 again. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. We bring these videos to you Monday through Thursday, actually Sunday through Thursday, to help you get prepped for the market, let you know what we're trading, and also join our Discord. We have a free Discord here on finwealthlive.com that you can join. We actually post numbers in the morning about what we're trading, what we're looking at, and entries and exits as well, to try to keep our traders safe. So definitely check that out. Join us there. Also, there's some free training out there, and these nightly videos. So definitely participate with us, and let's make some money together. Looking at the dollar's elevated here still, and you can see that reflected in other areas in the market, which we'll cover here in a second. Dollar sitting here up, trying to go up back towards that high around the 105 area. Gold is pulled back a little bit here. So as long as it holds, above 1831.65, looking for a rally up to 1868. If we break that, then we can go higher towards 1890. But otherwise, you might be stuck in this little channel here. You can see we spent a lot of time here. So there's a lot of support and resistance in this zone, which might keep us stuck here for a while. US oil, you can see here that pullback in energy. So after making that high, which was hugely elevated, I mean, look at the run up. So obviously this is retracing back. We're at the 50-day. If we can hold above 82, hopefully we can rally back up to 86. If we can't and we break 82, look for a downside down to around 76. The VIX. So here's a little concern as well as I have on the market here, is looking at the VIX here. You can see it looks like here's our upper trend line here. Here's a lower. And what you see here is this ascending wedge. The VIX looks like it could ascend. You see support here, here, and here on that line. If we continue, the VIX continues to climb up here. It could climb up here clear into late summer and continue to elevate, which means if we get in here, we're just going to chop back and forth possibly in the market, which means just a lot of volatility, a lot of risk. If we still can come down here around this 25 area, we can rally, come back up here. We're going to pull back, rally, pull back, rally, pull back, and then it gets tighter and tighter and tighter until finally it breaks, and we break this trend, hopefully to the downside. If we do spike up to around 38, though, more than likely we might be able to put a bottom in, because that would create a huge reaction in the market. So just kind of watching this, we're right in the middle. So that's where it's kind of difficult for starting out this week, is we're right in the middle in the VIX. So if we are elevated, look for some downside in the morning. If we pull back here, then look for possibly rally, and maybe we can get this rally started if we can pull down here back towards 25 area. SPY down here on our lower deviation trend line back here, just kind of sitting here flat. You can see it's been providing support, so that's where I'm hoping it can bounce here and give us a relief rally towards close towards this 380 area. If not, if we don't, we have additional downside down here in the bands down to 350 area, maybe even down to maybe even lower than that, but 350 would be kind of the area of looking for some support. Triple Qs, again, coming down here, we're below our support line here, so we got to get up here and get over that 280 mark. If not, we could possibly pull back down here to this lower trend line, as you see we've done before. So it put us around 256 area, 255. Semiconductors, same thing. We're right here at the candle is flat for the day closing out on Friday. We have this big candle, so break above 210, or a break below 201 for a short. IWM got resistance up here around 168, got a bust above that, or if we have a breakdown, it's below 160, it's 163 area. But we should have support down here, hopefully on our lower band, and so we'll see what happens with the Russell 2000. XLE, so XLF here, so financials is what this is. You see here on the slow trend line, flat. We break below 30.50, look for downside. If we can break above this candle here, maybe we can fill some of this gap here above 31, looking for a run. Healthcare. See here again, pretty much flat, looking to get above 120 and rally up towards 124. If we break down below, 118, 119, we very well could start to come back here down towards lows around 116 to 114. Energy, so this energy sector we talked about. So you can see here, headed almost down towards that 20, right in between the 100 and the 20 at 71, 73.49. So you see the low here, 71, so that should be support. If it breaks that, 68 would be kind of where we get support. And you can see why that is. So you can see this is kind of where we had a lot of resistance. So that should create a lot of support right here. And then we should get a bounce here, hopefully, off energy. If we go break below that, then, obviously we have a lot more weakness in the market. And it's going to be reflected in the stock price. Bitcoin had a nice drop here. So hopefully, if you're a short-term trader, you took advantage of that. If you got stopped out, then I feel bad. I feel bad for you. It's a tough market out there, and the market makers love to help us lose money. So you gotta be careful out there. Make sure you're watching where your stops are at. And you can see here we had a pop down, pop right back up, and right above these candles. So it looks like it's, Bitcoin's trying to get a rally back up here. It's possible it could get back up in this 22,000 range again. If they can break up and hold back into this candle area here. And it's right kind of at the bottom of it, right at the top of the candles. We got to hold at least a couple of days above here. If we can, Bitcoin can possibly rally up. If not, it might come right back down. Ethereum. Same thing, it's right in this candle. So looking for a candle breakup towards, this 1242 area. If we can get above 1242, maybe we can rally back up towards the 20. If we break it down below this candle here in our little deviation band here at 1898, now we have some downside. So that's our stocks, our cryptos. Look for the VIX in the morning, see if it's elevated. You can also watch the futures. I always watch the futures because they give you an indication of what's going on overnight. And through the weekend. And right now it's elevated. That doesn't mean it can stay there. It might very well just drop through the floor. Oh, and I was going to show you this and I did not. So let me go back to this real quick. I'll put it on a chart. I just think it's interesting. I want to show you just a little bit of a training as well about how the market makers work here. So let me go ahead, just take a few extra minutes here. Hopefully you don't mind. Let me load a chart here. Let me see if I still have my BABA chart, if it's organized properly. It's an older chart, but we will show you anyways on here. So let me go to a 15-minute chart. I want to show you, this is where you got to watch out for market makers and what can happen, especially if you're watching pre-market, because this is what they will do. Let's see, give me just a minute here. And I know this is taking a little extra time. Thank you for being patient with me. So here's what the market makers did. And I watched this. I was on the short on this, so I was on the right side of the trade. I did not write it all the way down, but here's what happened. So market makers, so after hours, on Friday, so you saw that, basically the BABA just skyrocketed, and so did other Chinese stocks, and they skyrocketed up. Like, I was looking at it and I was like, holy cow, we come from, $100 clear up to $113. So I'm like, wow, maybe BABA's going to rally for us today, but that's pretty elevated. So maybe it'll pull back a little bit and then you can buy it long, or short right off the top here if it starts to fall back. And so we were watching this, and I was like, okay, I was talking to one of the other guys here, and I was like, hey, watch Bob, look at this thing. It's going crazy today, and let's see what it does and see if we can take advantage of this. And on the open, you see it started, coming down, and then it broke right on the open down. So I got a little bit of a short. Then I got on one of my other stocks. I got an alert, so I did not trace this all the way down. But look at this thing; it just went straight down. It didn't really even check in on the 20 or anything. It just really just kind of dumped all the way down here. I mean, you could have caught some of this area here, maybe where it paused here, maybe this little pullback here. But otherwise, it went all the way down and erased everything. So, that's where you have to be careful. I don't know who bought up here thinking this was going to be a big, huge breakout. Hopefully nobody did. Obviously somebody bought it because sellers got their price out of it and they sold. So somebody had to buy it. But this is a thing to watch out for. If you're seeing things elevated in the pre-market, you just got to be careful and watch the price action on the open, because otherwise you very well, if you thought, oh, it's a nice breakout here, you're already up, $13. It's got to go further. Not necessarily. This thing just dumped, and I was just like, holy cow! I hope traders we know did not get stuck in that, because that's what some people call the tricking company. But that's the market makers. That's where they pump and then they dump. And you see the same thing on news. Sometimes you'll see news come out and they say, hey, the stock is elevated, it's exploding. And you go out there and the market makers pump that stock up because they want to get their money out, take their profits. They wait for the buyers to come in and get into the FOMO. If you're missing out, they buy it. And then the market makers just sell it all and dump it all the way back down. And then you're held with a losing bag. So again, that's another thing we teach in our trainings, is how to avoid that and how to look for that. But I just want to share that with you. I know it's a little sidetrack. It just was so apparent on this last week. So I just really wanted to share that. But definitely join us on our Discord. Stay safe out there. Let's talk Monday night. We'll talk about how the stocks went, how the market's doing, and prep for the next day. Everybody have a great rest of your holiday if you're in the US, and we will catch you tomorrow morning on the open. Have a great night.